Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, June 27th. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. The purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I try to do that by being as honest, vulnerable, and accountable as I can be, which is why I make these videos, so it makes me put some work in. I'm no expert in AA or spirituality or recovery. I'm just trying to live life on life's terms and do it sober. The recipe we follow here is I read the daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. There's a link in the description if you would like to follow along. And I'll just share my take on whatever I took from the reading as well as some other topic. All right, well, let's get to work here. So the topic for today is going to be conforming to the AA way and motives. All right, so June 27th. We obey AA steps and traditions because we really want them for ourselves. It is no longer a question of good or evil. We conform because we genuinely want to conform. Such is our process of growth in unity and function. Such is the evidence of God's grace and love among us. AA Comes of Age, page 106. It is fun to watch myself grow in AA. I fought conformity to AA principles from the moment I entered, but I learned from the pain of my belligerence that in choosing to live the AA way of life, I opened myself to God's grace and love. Then I began to know the full meaning of being a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. Willing conformity. Normally that word conform kind of has a bad connotation, at least in my brain it does. So, all right, so I guess what I kind of took from the reading was the obedience. We really wanted these steps for ourselves. For me, the obedience was out of desperation first, and then it became to willingness because I found it worked. When I came in, I'll try anything, right? And talked about we conform because we generally want to conform. We've seen that this works by simply watching others. See other people stay sober and they seem to be happy and their lives get better and less drama. Then here later on talks about it's fun to watch myself grow in AA. Is it fun? It's not fun yet. I do like to see that, but I can't say it's quite fun yet. And maybe I'm just a prude, but hopefully I'll get there. I fought conformity to AA principles from the moment I entered. I didn't want to let go of what was actually killing me. I know it's not working, but I ain't trying that, and I don't want to let go of this. And it's the lunacy, the insanity behind that is crazy. That's why I think it talks about how we have to really hit a low spot, really be beaten down because we grasp to our things we think that work. But I learned from the pain of my belligerence. So much pain until I was thoroughly beaten down until it actually was willing to do these things because I wanted to, not because I had to. Then I began to know the full meaning of being a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I think what they're talking about is unity, service, and recovery. That's the part of the Trinity or whatever it is. So being a member is being part of something, doing service, and work of recovery. So okay, that's that. Then the next part, I do want to talk about motives. Like, why am I in working the steps? Here because we want to, right? So I think it's important to, no matter what we're doing, look at our motives. I think sometimes we almost need to ask subsequent why questions because we can fool ourselves into why we're doing things. So motives are essentially a reason for doing something, especially one that is hidden or not obvious. Something that causes a person to act in a certain way or do a certain thing. Incentive. Why we really do what we do, right? So where do our motives come from? It comes from our mental state, our environment, or our past. It can come from internal or external stimuli. Okay? How do we determine what our motives are? I think vigorous self-examination is important. Talking with somebody else about something. So if I'm going to say, well, I want to get a new job. Why do I want to get a new job? Well, I'm just, whatever. I don't like this guy. Well, why don't you like him? And if you start asking a few of those why questions, like I think in some of our engineering analysis, like 5 whys. If you ask enough whys, you get to the real reason why we do it. And I think most of the time it comes down to something that serves me. If I don't want to do dishes, why not? Well, because I've done them before. I'm sick of doing them, and where's my patience? Where's my whatever? And so I think for me, all my motives come back to me on some level, even though I may do something out of love. Maybe because I want them I want to feel adequate enough. So that's really why. And I think if we're unsure why we're doing something, or we kind of just tell our motives aren't right, talking to someone through that will help, because if it's a real true friend, they're not going to bullshit you. They're going to call you out on it. Okay. So what are my main motives during active addiction? To change the way I feel, to avoid or numb the pain that I'm feeling, cope with my past trauma, indulge in selfish desires, run from fear and responsibility, avoid uncomfortable actions and situation, control, and all comes back to me, right? I think ultimately, if my motives have to do with things in the external world, I don't know if those are really the most beneficial. And if it has to come back to what I want, that may not really the most beneficial. So what do I think my motive should be in recovery? Accept the way I feel, change the way I act, feel and accept my pain, be free of pain by facing it, surrender, and really make it about serving others, not serving me. And I think if I take time to just slow down, just listen to the thoughts and feelings that are, whatever's going on with me, I think it tells me a lot about what's going on with me. And so I really want to have better motives than what I have currently. So anyway, I hope you got something out of it. This was really helpful for me. I just want to encourage you to, what are your motives as you go throughout the day? I think the big book talks about, even though we still step on our fellows' toes, even though our motives are good, because ultimately, I'm cooking this dinner and because I love you, but really, I want to feel adequate, or whatever that looks like. So, or I want you to love me, give me love. So I do something. It's not really for you; it's to get the love back. And I just think those are bad. So I just want to encourage you to look at your motives and how much has to do with you and fulfilling your needs or wants or whatever. And if they're not genuine, do something about it. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for another reading. So until then, peace out.